Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are so glad you joined us. Ashley Stremme and Steve Post and I have returned from a little slice of heaven in Chillicothe, Ohio. Atomic Speedway. Man, what a great spot that is.
Always love going up there. The people are so great.
It is. It's just amazing. It was the Dean Niddle Memorial. Now, Jeff Niddle, his son, kind of puts this together, and this guy, you want to talk about a dynamo. He works like 52 weeks a year for this event. And the purse, and it's raised $100 here, $250 local business here. The list of partners was amazing. It's raised that way, and they had a purse of over $50,000 when you take the A main, the B main, the non-qualifiers race. I mean, it was unreal what they did. A great field of cars, great time. Really, really neat. Good
Pretty
stuff.
cool stuff. I've known Jeff for quite a while, so I'm not surprised by that by any means.
Classy people. Oh, it started off. I got there. As I'm going up, I got invited to a perch fry. Yeah, Dan, one of the fans up there. Now, this guy can cook. Oh, my God. The camping was great. The perch was great. It was really, really good. The racing was great. The racetrack's a racy little joint. The All-Stars really putting on some good shows. Really, really fun stuff. But they also, well, no, I'm going to show you this first. Okay, look at this. Look at this. This is a Danny Smith T-shirt. Now, this is the old gambler car. Danny's one of our historical guys, but look at that on the back. Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers. Like, you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. Kenny Rogers. Now, look at that shirt.
I forgot he sponsored him back in the day.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, the gambler card. But now they wanted a gift for me to bring and share. Now, I shared a little bit this with Aaron on Tuesday. But now, the Niddle family, okay, Dean Niddle, this Hall of Famer, used to make fudge. Yes. So his daughter has taken over the fudge making. And they wanted to make sure, so we're gonna just do some fudge. You and I are gonna do some
absolutely.
fudge.
I'm all in. You don't have to twist my arm.
I know I have to twist your arm. So we're gonna do some fudge. Okay, so we're doing that. Oh, by the way, David Gravel joins us here on the program.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Important.
We do have a show coming up, a David Gravel, okay? And he runs with the World of Outlaws. We're going to get into the fudge here in just a second. But the World of Outlaws, they were at Placerville this past week, okay? And here's the battle. Oh my gosh, it was unreal. Let's see what it was here. Is Shane Golubeck, okay, was looking for his second career win. And he passed Carson Macedo to get the win late in the event. It was on Dirt Vision. Johnny Gibson with the call. It is our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
We've got a race for the lead into traffic into 3 and 4. Here's Golubeck to the inside of Macedo. Slide job to take the lead with the white flag waving. Macedo back to the inside, but Golubeck down the back stretch into 3 and 4 for the final time. And at the checkered flag, Shane Golubeck steals the win from Carson Macedo.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official DEF of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV. Let's go to the Hercules Tire Hotline. Joining us now is the 2019 Knoxville Nationals champion, David Gravel's on the line. Hello, David. Welcome into Wing Nation.
How you doing, guys? Excited to be on the show.
Now, we're excited to have you on with us, that's for sure. All right, we've had you on our Tuesday show after you won the Nationals, but we're a month or so out. What's it like a month later to still be the Knoxville Nationals champion? Because you know they can never take that away from you.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, you know. It doesn't really seem too real. It's just you get so caught up in the season, continue to race, stay focused, and, you know, we just raced, what do? We did a Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So, like, the last 2 weeks we raced 10 times. And, that's kind of consumed your life, really. So it's one of those things. When I go back to Knoxville for the first time, or I'll be able to put myself on one of those poles behind the grandstands, I think then it will really, really set in.
Sure.
I want you to elaborate a little bit on that schedule that you just rattled off with the Mondays and the Wednesdays, because typically it is just a weekend deal, Thursday through Sunday or whatever. How do you handle these thrown-in shows like this with Mondays and Wednesdays and having a 10-race stint there that you have to kind of get a different sleep schedule going?
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind the Wednesday shows that we race a Friday, Saturday, and a Wednesday. Just help break up the week. If you just race Friday, Saturday, and you're stuck somewhere where you're not home, it kind of isn't. It kind of sucks, really, being in a hotel for 5 days, and then the guys have a day or two of work, and I just pretty much gotta wash my suits and not do too much. It makes the week go by pretty slow. So we don't mind some midweek shows. When you're out in California, it's actually nice. But if you got to travel to another state along the way or whatever, then it makes it pretty tough. But it just helps make time pass, and everybody's kind of excited to head back east now and get closer to Eastern time schedule, and so people back home to watch me race and not fall asleep, and and then you're getting closer to the National Open, and then ultimately World Finals.
Yeah, we're in that East Coast category of those late nights, the Dirt Vision. I'll tell you what, man, I cannot wait for these things to move a little bit further east for sure. We're chatting with David Gravel here on Wing Nation. David, when we look at your season, obviously you've won the Knoxville Nationals. With the win last week at Calistoga, that puts you at 8 World of Outlaw wins for the season. First year with Jason Johnson Racing. To what degree obviously you're satisfied, but is it the nth degree, or is there things you want to work on, or things that you feel like got away from you? Where are you at as far as assessing the season goes?
Well, I'm very proud of everybody at JGR, and I'm proud of how I've driven this year. To start the season, we started off rough. Florida was fine, but the West Coast swing was a little bit rough. I think we were way back in, 7th or 8th in points, and had a little bit of a hole to dig out of. And at the last race of California, we were able to get our first win, and then not shortly after that in Arizona, we were able to win again. But just Vegas and then the California swing there was just a little bit rough on us. We had a little bit of errors as a team, as a driver, and then just learning each other. So if you take that part of the year out of the schedule, we've had a really outstanding year. So to be only a couple top fives behind Donnie Schatz and Brad Sweet this year is something to not hang your head about. And, I have a couple more goals to get the season over with here. I would really like to get double-digit wins and try to hit that number 50 career win mark. Is definitely high on my priority list. So hopefully we could rattle some more wins off.
Well, that's what it's all about, is setting those goals and doing what it takes to achieve them. A little bit about Jason Johnson Racing. It's been really cool for me, David, to kind of watch you climb in that seat and gather with that team and what they've done and created. But I think what's been really emotional for me is watching you kind of play the uncle role, if you will, with Jax. It's been absolutely incredible keeping him and what his dad kind of created, the wing stands and all those things. What's it been like for you to really kind of play that uncle role?
That's been cool. Sadly, he had to go back to school, so he hasn't been to the races too much lately. But, it's definitely, I love kids, and, Jack loves racing, so we obviously have things in common. And it's just cool to see him grow up. Like, even the last year, he's grown up a lot. Obviously, he's got to go to school now, so that means he's getting older and grown up in those ways. But, one night he was kind of not happy being in a T-shirt trailer and was just giving his mom a hard time and just was being difficult. And, I had the idea of, why doesn't Jack stay in the pits with us all night, without his mom, which usually, Jax and him are attached at the hip. And he helped us in the pits, and he did great. He scraped mud all night. He was telling Phil what he was doing wrong, and it was just a cool thing because he had a lot of enjoyment out of it. And it just showed that he's growing up and he wants to help out and not just play with his cars and all that. So that was a cool moment from the year. And then obviously him being up on the wing for a couple of our wins. I believe our first several wins, he wasn't there for him. So for him to be there for Knoxville and, be up on the wing 3 times in 1 week was pretty cool.
I would say pretty cool for sure. Really, really neat what's going on there. Jason Johnson Racing, of course, is the team of David Gravel. We lost Jason last year, and the family and the team has kept going. David's plugged into the car, plugged into the race car really well, and plugged into the lives of Jax and Bobby and the entire family. We do need to step away. We have more Wing Nation coming up. Before we get to the break, though, I want to tell you that Hercules Tires is giving away a set of tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. We're doing it once a month. And so for the month of September, make sure you register today. You can be our September winner. More with David Gravel in just a moment.
Do a little shopping? Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. So glad you joined us. Joining us on the Hercules Tire Hotline is David Gravel. Okay, we're going to go a little off track now, okay? And we're going to go a little behind the scenes as to what we just dealt with just a little bit ago. We record this during the week, okay? And we called up David, and David said, can you hold on just a little bit? Because he was in line at the post office getting stamps for the wedding invitations, okay? It was quite the scene from our perspective, being on the other end of the phone, but I guess the question is, how are things going with wedding prep?
It's going pretty good. It's one of those things, I asked her to marry me here 2 months ago, and then the hard thing was to decide when are we going to get married with our schedule and all that, and Jill's brother is getting married in November, next November, and, that's next off season. And I was like, man, it's either we do it very late this coming off season or next off season, but since can't do it in November now, couldn't do it in December, then you're looking at January or February. That was a year and a half out plus. So it was one of those things. There was a date available for January 31st. A week before Volusia, so we're in hurry up mode, trying to get everything done and figure everything out. So it's been interesting. Jill's been responsible for 90% of it, and I'm just the support team.
Good job.
Oh boy, you're off to a good start.
That's right.
You're off to a good start.
Even off
sure.
to the post office to get stamps. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's
Gotta
great.
do the hard jobs.
That's right.
And just remember that when the jobs get harder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
David, I've seen that you've been kind of doing a YouTube channel, if you will, and that's kind of intrigued me. I've loved some of them, especially the gas station one when you were trying to pick your dinner at 3 a.m. with nothing to eat. Where did this all stem from, you just jumping on YouTube and kind of taking the fans along for a ride?
Yeah, that's been actually really cool. I'm saying the last 5 races, people come up to me just to talk about my YouTube channel, not even really to thank me for Knoxville Nationals or just see how I'm doing. It's like, man, I really love your YouTube channel. I really like your videos. So where it stemmed from was really just I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm a huge car guy, and there's a lot of kids roughly my age that have channels that just get to drive cars or work on cars or go to events and travel around. And, they get a big following. And I felt nobody's really doing it in the dirt racing world or at a national level. So I was like, hey, why not? I went and bought a camera at Best Buy and started doing it. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm trying to give fans what they're wanting to see. Got a couple of videos that I'll be posting this coming week, and just trying to show people a different perspective. The hard nights are when you have to race somewhere on a Friday and it's a 4 or 5 hour drive to the race on Saturday, and that was kind of the night, the video you're talking about. We had to race. Then we had to get out of there and fill up the truck and go eat something quick. And if it's a packaged up sandwich that's been there for a couple days, then that's what dinner is. But you drive 3, 4, 5 hours to the next place and get there around 3 or 4 in the morning and go to sleep and wake up around 9 or 10 or hopefully 11. And the boys got to do the work, and then we're racing again. So just trying to show people kind of what we go through. If you talk about it, oh, yeah, it's a lot of driving, a lot of races, but nobody truly knows what it's like, and hopefully I can shed that light.
Yeah, you get to see the glamour portion of it. 3 a.m. gas station food. That's the glamour portion of being a World of Outlaw driver. David, you mentioned you're a big car guy. What would be your dream car, or do you have your dream car?
Well, I have one of my dream cars is the Dodge Viper, but like this car, probably not a lot of people even know what it is, but it's called a Koenigsegg. They make only about 10 a year. They come out with a new model kind of every couple of years. But I've always been a Lamborghini. A realistic car for me was always a Viper, and then hopefully one day I could get that Lamborghini was always my other dream car. But the Koenigsegg's like over $1 million car, so that is I'm gonna have to hit the lottery for that.
Yeah, you better win a few more Knoxville
Nationals.
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, David, are you still drag racing then when you have time?
Yeah, that's kind of why I moved to Florida. One of the reasons, all winter long, it's beautiful out. It's probably in the 70s about every single day, and that's kind of when I have my time for drag racing. During racing season, when I come home, I'm doing yard work, doing laundry, and getting something done to the house.
And buying stamps for wedding invitations, for sure. Final
Yes,
question
sir.
before we let you go. You mentioned it in your first answer. Coming up in a couple of weeks is the National Open at Williams Grove. You've had a lot of success at that racetrack. Where does that? You're a National Open champion a couple times. The Knoxville Nationals. Do big wins like that just spur you to want to win that National Open even more this year?
For sure. National Open has always been a crown jewel. Hopefully, this year Champion Oils is bumping up the purse a little bit, but hopefully the pressure from, Eldora and Knoxville could boost that event up. I feel Williams Grove's a little bit behind in facility and purse, so hopefully those two tracks put the pressure on them to build that up to where those guys are doing it. But the prestige is there. That place is extremely hard to win at, and I just been lucky enough to win there twice with 2 different cars, and if I could win there again for a third time in a third different car, that'd be very, very cool. So for whatever reason, Williams Grove has suited my driving style, and hopefully we could get another one. As long as we're competitive and up front have a chance, that's all you could ask for. It's frustrating when you start in the back and you really can't do much. So I'm hoping to qualify good, get in that dash, and hopefully have a solid run there.
Well, that's always fun to watch. It really, truly is when the Outlaws roll into Pennsylvania. David, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us, and best of fortune as you continue through the season.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on the show, and hopefully we'll see you at the races. Are you going to be at Port Royal? What's your guys' next race?
I'll catch you guys at Lakeside because we'll be there, and then the World Finals. I think we'll be at that too. So we'll see you there.
Okay.
So, cool.
All right, guys.
Sounds
Thank
good,
you very
man.
much.
Thank you. David Gravel joining us here on the program on the Hercules Tire Hotline. Again, Hercules Tires, a free set of tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN and register. Maybe you can be the September set of tire winners. We need to step away. Our tweets are coming up next.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We're back. You're watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. It is your time of the week. That's right. It's time to tweet your seat. We're kicking it off with Stockton Dirt Track Friday. These tweets come from Shaylee and Affinity for Dirt. It's the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Sprint Cars. Ugh. Jacob
God.
Allen. God bless him. He was so close. I'm telling you, when that kid finally wins, the place is going to go bonkers.
The sprint car world is going to go crazy. Yeah.
Indeed. Although he had ignition problems with 2 to go, but thankfully Shark Racing was still there to capitalize on it with Logan Schuchart getting his 7th win of the season.
Yes, indeed. Then the World of Outlaw gang moved to Calistoga Speedway on Saturday night. Tweets from Darren and Glass TH. World of Outlaws, David Gravel. Just talked to 8th win of the season. It was David Gravel, Brad Sweet, and Logan Schuchart on the podium again.
Atomic Speedway. These tweets come from Evan, Dan.
The Perch guy. Oh, this Perch was unreal. Oh, my God. It's so good. I'm sorry. Go ahead with the tweets.
Treg, Sling and Dirt Production, and Robert. Obviously, it was the Dean Niddle Memorial Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions. Thursday, Friday. James McFadden, the Australian.
That is one great race car driver. Watching him, oh my gosh, he's phenomenal.
For Saturday, Aaron Reitzel, Cole Duncan, and Jimmy Stinson.
Cole Duncan and Jimmy Stinson, regular Saturday night racers at Atomic Speedway on the podium. I love that. I really do. Sealands Grove, it was the Jim Nace Memorial, the 37th Annual National Open, $20,000. Love this one. Logan Wagner, the Zemco car, Port Royal champion. Okay, they call him and says, hey, how do you do at Sealands Grove? He said, I didn't have the heart to tell him I've never been there before. So he said he ran a 305 race there, rolls in for the first time and cashes the big check. Logan Wagner with the big win. Freddie Raymer and Brian Brown also on the podium.
Batting 1,000.
That is, yes.
These tweets come from Boozer and Todd. It is Fremont Speedway for the season championship night. Your race winner was DJ Foos, and your champion was Buddy Kofoid.
Yes, indeed. Great night at Fremont. Really, really cool. Buddy finished 3rd in the feature, and he needed to finish 3rd in the feature to win the championship.
Oh, well, then he did what was necessary.
Yes, he did. Williams Grove Speedway from Wayne and KSL and Wanda was the Dirt Classic qualifier. 17-month dry spell came to an end for Brian Monteith as he picked up the win.
Ohsweken Speedway. These tweets come from Daryl, Patrick, and Gordon. It's Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Your winner was Scott Caruter, his first Friday night regular to win the Nationals. It was the ESS Patriots, Southern Ontario Sprints, and Great Lakes Sprint Cars and the NRA.
They all work together, that is for sure. The straight shooter, Scott Caruter. I do some indoor racing with him. Cherokee Speedway, Saturday night. This from M. Wedge. Justin Barger picked up the win with USCS.
Lincoln Speedway. Tweet comes from Randy Wade Racing. Your winner was Matt Finley.
And Georgetown Speedway. This from Jonathan and CJ. URC Sprints. Josh Weller, second Georgetown win of the season. Chad Layton and JJ Grosso, your top 3 finishers. Let's step away. More Wing Nation coming up in just a moment.
Do a little shopping?
Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
Wing Nation rolling along, and these weekends rolling along, maybe a little faster than we want because we're already here toward the end of September, but it does mean some great racing. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. If you're watching us on Saturday morning, like so many of you do, you need to get out to Lucas Oil Raceway. It's the Jesse Hockett, Daniel McMillan Memorial, okay? And in Pennsylvania, 20 grand on the line at Lincoln for the Dirt Classic All-Star Race. And at Dirt Classic, another part of the month of money there in Pennsylvania. Big-time money winners, for
It's
sure.
always a fun race, too, the way they kind of
They do
culminate
2 sets
everything.
of heat races.
Yes.
They do 2 sets of heat races, and you acquire points, and it's a fun race.
It
And
is.
Lincoln's a great racetrack, for sure. So, get out to the racetrack. There's all kinds of great things.
Take someone with you who's never been either.
That's a better idea yet. I like how she thinks. I also like that we're going to get ready to get back into this fudge again. That is for sure. Hey, we appreciate David Gravel for joining us. More important, though, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.